This episode of Seniors Today is brought to you in part by Cedarhurst, Naperville.
Welcome to Seniors Today, a talk show focused on what seniors and their families need to live their very best lives. I'm Denise Vaughn, the administrator at HomeWatch Caregivers Home Care, and with me is my co-host, Lisa Stover, owner and founder of Presto Real Estate Services. During this time, we're hearing from a lot of our families that they're trying to stay connected with their parents and their older family members, and it's so important to try to use technology to make that happen. Joining us today is Jim Hill, a member of the Naperville Senior Task Force and chair of the Dementia Friendly City Initiative. And then also joining us is our senior guest, Judy Ronzon, an active senior in our community. Welcome, Jim and Judy. We're so glad to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Well, Jim, I think the best thing to do would be to start out and learn a little bit about the Naperville Senior Task Force and some of the work that's going on there.
Sure. This is an initiative actually started 6 years ago with two seniors you may know, Karen Corney and Bev Fryer, and they will tell you that they lobbied, I think, for 3 or 4 years before that to have the city council establish something that would allow seniors to have more input into government decisions and programs. And so finally in 2014, then Mayor Pradle agreed to form the the senior task force. So we are all volunteers. There's 9 of us, and then Karen and Bev now are our advisors, if you will. And we act as conduits, if you will. So we talk to seniors. We do focus groups with seniors. We do surveys with seniors. We try to get as much input we can and then focus that in a few areas like housing and education and transportation and health, and influence the council and the mayor on different programs and how they might work. So I'm currently, along with Rob Williams, the co-chair of the group, and we're working on a number of things. I guess we can talk more about it as the program goes on. But again, it's all as Bev likes to say, it's all geared towards making Naperville a senior-friendly city. That's really our goal.
Well, it is amazing, and I just want to put in a plug, for anyone who is watching, is that to go to the website. When I started this home care business a couple years ago, it was one of the first places I went to see what was available for our clients and what resources there were, and the website's fantastic. So I know, we'll include that in our follow-up information, but it is really remarkable. I thought every major, town and city should have a senior task force. So it's pretty amazing when you hear about how it started. What I love is one of the most recent initiatives, because you talked about a few of the things that you're already working on, but the newest one is the Technology Assist Naperville, the TAN. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? And what perfect timing?
Yeah, so it's something we've been thinking about for a while, even before everyone sort of started staying at home, recognizing that a lot of seniors that we hear from and we talk to say, you know what, I kind of know how to use my iPhone, but I don't know how to do this, or my kids just got me an iPad and I'm not sure what to do with it. So recognizing that technology is great and it's all around us, but sometimes not all of us know exactly what to do with it or how to use it, or particularly when problems come up, when things that did work suddenly don't work. So it's something we've been thinking about a long time, and we looked around the country to see what other places do, and hit upon the idea of doing more or less one-on-one coaching, where we can, where we line up volunteers from our group with seniors, or really anybody. We're not that fussy. And try to match up. Okay, we have a senior that has an iPad. We have a volunteer that knows a lot about iPads. Let's let's connect them together and see what they can, learn from one another. So we started, really we did a little sort of testing and piloting amongst ourselves. It was actually myself and Bev. I was the volunteer, Bev was the client. I helped her with some things, and we sort of figured out, okay, this will work. We can do this. So we've been at it for I want to say like 2 months, and it's been fun. I personally, I enjoy it a lot. That's kind of my background, so I enjoy it. We have other volunteers that are technology. I don't want to say geeks, but sort of geeky, if you will, and kind of enjoy that. Enjoy that stuff, but I've also found that I get a lot of gratification just from helping people who are
that's wonderful.
So excited when something, when you get something to work that didn't work before.
So Jim, what are you seeing these seniors using? Like what's the go-to device that you see most?
It's everything. So some seniors most of the seniors that I've talked to have multiple. So they'll typically have a smartphone and a computer. Or an iPad and a computer. The thing that has surprised me is actually how many people need help with their cable TV. So it's
which remote do I use?
That's it. No, seriously, I've had we've had a few of those. I put a DVD in, but no sound comes out. What do I do? Which and then you have like five, and right, you have 5 remotes lined up, and which one, and all that.
Okay,
So
you just made me feel better knowing that you said age is not necessarily the criteria, because now I know.
No, it's not. You can call. Yeah, you can call.
Right.
So what do they use? Well, it's actually like I said, multiple devices, including television. That TVs are like computers anymore.
Judy, which is your favorite? What do you like to use when you're connecting with folks?
Well, I like to use email because I don't do the other stuff, Facebook or whatever. I'm like, I'll just do email. And I have a Samsung smartphone I just got a few years ago. And that's nice for texting and everything, and sending pictures and emails too. And the internet. Sometimes I go.
But you're not doing anything live. You're not doing anything live with your friends and family? No. Okay. That's a little trickier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although Judy is doing Zoom.
Yes,
that's how we connected, just because we're really thinking about isolation for anybody, especially seniors, is a bad thing, bad for your health and bad for your mental health. And we're trying to do more things where we connect people. So Judy was participating in a group that's on Thursdays that got 8 or 9 seniors together, and she was a rock star on the Zoom. I was getting on.
I just felt like joking because I'm here myself, so I talk to my car. I haven't heard.
So transparent of you.
It's one thing when they're doing things by themselves. They can email when they want to. They can get on the internet when they want to. If they're doing Facebook, they can do it when they want to. But a Zoom is like a real interaction. So why did you decide to do that?
So Lyle Seniors had Zoom bingo. So that's how I got into it. Well, the first day was hard to get together I was doing it on a computer. I saw the faces and stuff, but then on my Samsung smartphone, I was talking. So, and then I'm like, other people use iPad. I have one. I just use it to look at something, so I don't have to run downstairs. And that's how I got started with Debbie. It was Laura and Debbie and a few other people that could help you. So that's how I got onto Zoom, and I like seeing all my bingo friends.
Well, I think
there's a lot less, but
it's so important. It's so
right.
important for you to see your friends, right? I mean, that is a big part of why we're having this show today, is that we want everyone to know that A, it's important to stay connected, and B, that there's actually a resource out there to help you if you don't know how to do it, right?
Right.
So it's good that we're doing this now. This is very timely.
Right. I just want to say that if seniors want to use a tablet or something, don't get fed up right away. It takes a while.
Takes a while.
Used to. Just please be patient a little bit. And I have to write all my directions down on a piece of paper, and sometimes the first time I don't get all of it, so I have to figure out what's there. And I do card making, and I get some of my ideas from Pinterest.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And that one, even if you log on, somebody show you how to do it. All kinds of food recipes. I get all my card stuff. I might have to look at it 2, 3, 4 times to get all the measurements and stuff. But Pinterest is a good Pinterest.
Judy, you are amazing, just because you're, I think, addressing what so many people are concerned about.
Right.
And I'm giving directions. This is such great discussion. We're going to need to take a really quick break for a few messages, and then we'll talk about some more of that when we get back, because I think some of the sites you're talking about, I think our senior friends would love to know that they're out there. So we'll be right back.
At Cedarhurst Naperville, we provide truly person-directed care, working with each resident as an individual, whether it's assisted living or memory care. Our compassionate staff, first-rate amenities, beautiful environment, and welcoming, supportive atmosphere make Cedarhurst a secure, enriching place to live.
I wear my mask to stay healthy and to help you be healthy too.
I wear my mask for my kids.
I wear my mask for our first responders.
I wear my mask for my wife.
I wear a mask for the safety of my mother.
I wear my mask for our veterans.
I wear my mask for my family and community.
I wear my mask for our most vulnerable.
I wear it for me, and I wear it for everyone.
Welcome to Avenida Naperville, a fresh, new approach to active living for adults 62 and better.
Avenida Naperville is a one-of-a-kind active lifestyle community, and there's nothing else like us in Naperville.
Our inspiring senior apartment community is tailor-made for active adults age 62 and better, seeking a maintenance-free, service-enriched lifestyle. Each of our 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes feature all the luxurious details and contemporary conveniences you expect and deserve.
We have beautifully appointed apartments with stainless steel appliances, quartz countertops, beautiful step-in showers with built-in benches. Everything is gorgeous. We have a ton of amenity spaces around the community as well.
Avenida Naperville provides residents age 62 and better with the perfect apartment home
and community lifestyle. This is your opportunity to move forward and realize your future in your own way, on your own terms.
Welcome back to Seniors Today. We were talking about technology, and we had our senior guest, Judy, talk a little bit about what she's done to actually learn new technology, what she's done to not be afraid of new technology. And she also just mentioned Pinterest, which I was just thinking in my head, I've never really been on Pinterest too much until most recently. So Judy, tell us a little bit more about Pinterest and what you use Pinterest for. That may be something that our viewers may really want to learn a little bit more about.
Yeah, Pinterest, you could get different kind of recipes. I do get some ideas for my card making, paper card making. They have all different things on there. One time I stayed on it for so long, it was like my neck was hurting and everything. My head hurt like crazy. That's what happens when I sit on the computer. It's like I could be there for hours. I gotta remember to try to put a timer on, so this way I'll be on for an hour.
I sometimes felt like Pinterest was, for me, like the best magazine that I've ever had, right? Because you know how you flip through a magazine and you'll get an idea. Well, you flip through Pinterest and you get an idea, but then you keep getting more and more and more ideas for exactly what you're looking for, whether it's decorating or recipes or card making, like you mentioned.
Judy, how many cards do you make?
I have no idea.
She said a lot.
Yeah, one time I made 16 of this Bethlehem with Mary and Jesus and Joseph. And my teacher said, "You're a glutton for punishment. That's the hardest card you can make," because it had all different pieces, like the Bethlehem scene and another one right in front of that and something else. And then you had to put this little round ring around the Bethlehem scene, but the glue could not touch. The Bethlehem scene was in silver. So if you touch glue with silver, it screws up the whole thing. But I told myself I'm making these cards whether it's hard or not.
I love that you're doing that, and thank you for sharing about Pinterest. I wanted to kind of think through some of the things that we're trying to do right now when we're all at home, which is a little bit, Judy, I think about what you've been doing. You've been going on Zooms, you've been doing, kind of the car bingo, but also as far as staying in touch with loved ones, because, I know for me, it's been really hard. Primarily for me, it's my college age kids, which that's easy because they text and they FaceTime.
Yeah.
They usually answer my calls, but Lisa, I know you're a beautiful young grandma, but how have you been staying in touch with your family during this time?
Oh, it's so hard not to see a grandbaby. So hard. And aside from the fact that we have this pandemic upon us, we have miles and miles apart because my kids are in Seattle. So I FaceTime with my little Owen pretty regularly. I am convinced and determined to make sure he knows this face when he sees it live. I don't want any of that stranger danger when I finally show up. So I am like uber grateful for FaceTime because I can watch him run around and I can read him books. I read him books.
Oh my God.
So I have a couple books here that they have there. So, mommy and daddy can follow along. So as a grandparent, remarkable. And to further that, as a daughter who recently lost her mom to Alzheimer's, I have to say that my mom's been in a community now for 6 years, and the pandemic literally severed us, right? Because they have to be so careful at the communities. And I was only able to see her 2 times since March.
Oh my God.
until she went on to hospice. And then I was able to be with her. But in the interim, we tried, as we were talking about earlier during the break, Denise, to do the telephone calls, and she couldn't hear me. It just didn't work. So yeah, so hard for adult children. And I want to stress that as a senior separated from your kids, it's not just for you, our listeners, our viewers, to stay connected. Your kids want to see you. They want to see you. They want to have that. This is the next best thing, right? To being together, is at least looking at each other while we're having the conversation. So yes, I'm so grateful for technology.
I think, even when our family members are in a community and we know their basic needs are being met, there's something about being an adult child where you just need to lay eyes on your parent and see, how's their face look? Are they losing weight, gaining weight? Are they smiling? Are their eyes, bright? I mean, just all those things. And then, in addition to just making sure they're feeling well, it's how are they doing emotionally? And I just know for myself, these months have been really hard not seeing people much. And I can't even imagine what it's like to be a senior and be a little bit more isolated, but then especially if a family member has dementia or Alzheimer's, where then they may not even understand why they don't see you. Because Lisa, you were so good about, seeing your mom in person, and then all of a sudden Lisa's not there. What did I do, or why is she not there? So thank you for sharing that. I think so important for us to do. It's really, really important on that. I know, Jim, too, we were talking, and that kind of leads to the fact that there's all these different technologies. And sometimes I think, and Judy was mentioning it a little bit too, is, a lot of seniors are on set incomes, they're budgeting, they're trying to decide if they can afford things in their life, especially technology. Sometimes it seems like it's going to be too expensive. Can you talk a little bit about what you've seen with our seniors and technology and the finances?
Yeah, you're right. It can be expensive, but there are also ways to, to reduce the cost. A lot of the services that we've talked about, that you just talked about, Zoom and Facebook, they're all free. You just have to have internet access to take advantage of that. But you don't always need a computer and a cell phone. A lot of those services work just fine with a cell phone. You don't need a separate, internet service at your home, to do that. One of the things that we've done, our volunteers have done, is if when we work with seniors on technology, if it's okay with them, we'll actually ask, well, can we look at your cell phone bill, and let's look at your cable bill, see what what services you're currently subscribed to, and how you use those. And in a couple of instances, we've actually been able to cut our couple of clients that we cut their bills in half, literally, because by looking at, as an example, you live in a 1-bedroom apartment, do you really need a cell phone and a landline? The point is, it can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. And, if you spend a little time sort of looking and examining what you really, really use, in many cases, you can cut your costs.
One of the things I wanted to make sure we talk about is how does a senior get started? So, hopefully, some seniors may be seeing us on the actual TV. Some may be actually seeing us streamed on their computer, so they already have a computer. But what's the best way for a senior to buy something? Do they go to a store, which most people don't want to do right now? How do they buy a device right now?
Well, I could speak to that. And the first thing you do is get some advice on what kind of device and how you're going to use it. That's really important, because there's so many choices. So, we can help with the Technology Assist Naperville, or others can help. So, what kind of computer, what kind of cell phone? Figure out what you need first, and then pretty much you can buy it online. There's you really don't have to go to the store once you figure out what you need. It's important to shop around, because you will find price differences in sales, all the time. I have my favorite places that I shop, and everybody does, but pretty much you can buy everything online. And it's one thing that, and like with everything else, ask for senior discounts or senior plans. Most of the cell phone companies like Verizon, T-Mobile, they have plans for seniors that are really good deals.
There are more and more seniors that are getting on technology. The one thing I feel like I'd be remiss in not mentioning is that I get a little nervous about seniors getting scammed. So now they've got the technology, they're on websites, they're doing email, lots of people are getting their emails. And I just worry about that. Jim, is there any advice that you could give our audience about scams and how to protect themselves?
Yeah, a couple things. One is the Naperville Police Department does a really good job of staying on top of what they call our common scams, and they actually publish from time to time brochures and handouts on those. So it's always a good idea to check with the police department to get their latest list of popular scams. But the other kind of rule that I live by is one is I never answer an email that I don't know who it's from, even if it looks like someone I know it is. And you get a lot of these scams where you'll get an email that says, please verify your account number. And the reality is that if somebody wants you to verify your account number, you can call them. And so if you get something, I'm always amused. I get one that says like verify your account number with Chase. Well, I don't actually have I've never had an account number with Chase. But then I get one that says Bank of America. Well, I have an account with Bank of America, but I would never click on the link in the email. If they really need my information, they'll call me. And that's true of any government agency too, Social Security, the IRS. They will never email you. They will never actually call you. If they have an issue or they need something from your attention, they will send you a letter. So never answer an email that you don't know it's from. Never click on a website that you don't know, that you've never seen before, even if it looks familiar to you. And anytime anybody asks you for money or sensitive information, stop right there. Don't go any further. It's always my practice with cell phone is just if it's not from somebody I know, that I don't know the number, I don't answer it. And then, they'll leave a voicemail and I can listen to it.
Well, you bring up a good point, and I think that may even be a good reason for our seniors to call TAN, because I know there are things you can set up on your phone where unrecognized numbers just go into, voicemail, so you don't have to deal with them. So this has been so good. I think it's so timely. I love the fact that seniors are getting more engaged in technology, both passively with emails and internet, but also Judy, like you, and Jim and Lisa doing interactive things. So thank you so much for your time, and also thank you to our viewers for joining us on this episode of Seniors Today. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode of Seniors Today is brought to you in part by Cedarhurst Naperville.